Leslie, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Can you tell us a little bit about this new program?
This event raised $1.3 million for a program called Victory Clubs of America. It is a program that gives kids incentives to stay off drugs. Now, it's modeled after a program in Ohio called Drug-Free Clubs of America. Now, 50% of kids in Ohio are reportedly members of these clubs. Now, here's how it works. These kids take a pledge to not do drugs in middle school, and they agree to be randomly drug tested, and results are confidential, and they remain with their parents and the kids. And in exchange, they get all of these great incentives, right? So parking spaces at school, VIP passes to sporting events, movie tickets, things that are really important to kids. It's such a great idea.
And I understand you spoke to the Clark County supervisor about this program. What was the feedback?
Well, Clark County has the 5th largest public school district in the nation, 320,000 students. And they believe this program can change peer pressure and the culture of drugs because it gives kids a viable reason to say, hey, I can't do drugs because I'm part of this program.
And it makes it cool
to
stay off of drugs rather than experiment. Want to bring into the conversation rapper AB, who did perform at Victoria's Voice, as well as addiction specialist Brandy Klingman. And AB, I want to start with you because this cause is really close to your heart. Can you tell us about that?
Of course. I think it dates back to my childhood. I watched a lot of family members suffer through addiction, OD. Unfortunately, a few have passed away. I've had my best friend pass away last year through a drug overdose. And I just want to help kids. I just want to make a difference. I want to teach them younger. You know, you look at me, I'm obviously very edgy, but that doesn't mean I do drugs. But I just want to get the word out that you don't have to do drugs to be cool.
I think that's so lovely. I mean, obviously you're successful and this is such an important cause. But I know in addition to your family, you also say the teen environment right now is just so ubiquitous in terms of the availability of drugs. Can you tell us about that?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I am offered drugs on a daily basis, especially being in the industry that I'm in. When I'm at a party, I'm offered drugs. When I'm in the studio, I'm offered drugs, you know, and it's very hard to say no because everybody around you is doing it. But to have it deep inside of you and to understand that you don't need to do this and it's okay to be clean, you have to take it day by day.
And that gets to building this internal strength. And Brandy, I want to talk to you really quickly about that because teenagers in particular are so at risk. Peer pressure plays a role. How do you get through to teens and help them have the strength that AB does, for instance, to say, you know what, I'm good?
I think it's a really important thing to talk early to kids. So as early as 4th and 5th grade, talking to them about drugs, what that is, and really about an internal constitution, building up who are they and what are they about. So not just shifting from, you know, don't do drugs, but focusing on like, what are you about? Are you about a person of strength and health? You know, let's move towards that. And so when we're building that constitution, if you start early as 4th and 5th grade, you can start asking those questions. And I include, when I talk to my kids, like even vaping and cigarettes, and then into early teen, you're talking about alcohol and marijuana use. So you really want to get early on talking about these things with your families.
So how do you do that?
I think it's a sincere form of curiosity you have to have when you sit down with your kids and talk to them. If you sit down with some sincere interest of what's going on, they'll be a little bit more open to talking. So you have to kind of drill down and ask the questions that you're interested in getting to know more about your kids. If you start off just kind of pointing the finger and saying, don't do this, it ends up, you know, going off course a bit. So if you are curious and you sit down asking questions, tell me about what's going on in your school. I talk to my kids all the time. Tell me about vaping in your school. Do you know anybody who's got a vape pen? What about their older siblings? So that they're able to start talking more and more about it. And then right away, I don't jump on them or make statements about fear or scaring them. You know, try to be really positive about that.
I think you have tremendous strength of character. Brandy, thank you for trying to build that in all of our youth. I mean, it's an incredible undertaking and project. And this project, you know, this whole program seems so well intentioned and towards that goal is fantastic.
The kids today, they need this program.
And the goal ultimately is to prevent needless deaths.